Hey everybody, I don't know if this thing is on over here. Um, this will be the first time that I've gone live on here before. I didn't even realize that, I could do that. So, anyway, it doesn't look like there's anybody out there. Um, Even if there was, I couldn't tell. See if maybe top chat, see what kind of things we can do on this thing over here. Uh-oh, here's some, oh, I'll put it in some filter modes over here. Oh yeah, 8mm. That might be the way right there, huh? Documentary style, nor glow, beam, slate. See, is there anybody out there watching? I think there, oh snap, I clicked off of there. I thought there was one on there, but looks like they slipped away on me over here. I'll put it on one of these over here, sketch. Oh goodness, sepia documentary, all right. How's it going everybody? I'm just over here in Rio Rancho and doing a live feed right now from my bedroom. Didn't even realize that I could do this. Doesn't look like there's anybody out there jumping in on it, so see what's going on with that. If you're out there, leave a message in the chat over here so I can see what's up. 2 minutes, we're live for 2 minutes already over here. Geez, I don't know how long I got. Guess with this time over here that I got and there's nobody over here. Let me turn this thing on so I can see. I'll just kind of poke around my room a little bit. There's some pictures back there. One of the pictures over there, there's the Lord. And there's some nice items from Italy that I got back there. And there's a nice bottle of water. There's a picture of the Lord. Hey, I see that there's somebody out there. Make a comment over here so I know you're watching. What's up, brother? Oh, exploring the unknown. Nice. What's happening, man? Gosh, I love your channel. God, what an honor that you're over here checking out my video. Jeez. I was just watching one of your videos tonight. Oh, gosh. Anyway, what's going on out there? How's everybody doing? I'm just over here. I'm in my bedroom. I didn't even realize that I could go live on one of these, so I thought I'd give it a try. You know what I mean? But I'm out here in my bedroom. I'm in Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Thanks, man. I got some new content in the works. Sweet. That's awesome. Yeah, I was just watching the video that I think that you came out with. Maybe it was today, or anyway, it was on my feed today. So it's pretty awesome. Let me try and think about where that was. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. I'm just drawing a blank over here. But yeah, I look forward to that. I'm trying to work up to doing some serious urbex types of videos myself here, but um, I'm not sure how that's going to work out. I just moved into a new home city out here in Rio Rancho. From Albuquerque, New Mexico. But yeah, if you're out there, chime in from where you're from. Oh, you live in Rio Rancho? Oh, snap. I had no idea. That's pretty rad. Cool. So, yeah, I'm up here in Enchanted Hills in Rio Rancho. But yeah, I used to live in Rio Rancho maybe like 15 years ago, and I was out there on past Unser on Southern and Rainbow. I lived on a street called Tulip back in the day. And then previously I'd lived in Albuquerque, and now I'm back over here on Anyway, I'm back up here in Rio Rancho, kind of over here by the Home Depot. So yeah, pretty much Bernalillo, which I like. I don't know. I really like Bernalillo. So you're not far from me. I live up here in High Range, Loma, Colorado. Yeah, exactly. I know where exactly that is. That's rad. Yeah, I like cruising down there. There used to be a flea market or something like that over there. Um, I don't know. Is that still around? Do you know? I don't know. I know that on the way up there, coming up, not northern, but I think it's Idalia. There was. Oh, okay. It's closed. Okay. I had a feeling because I was over there looking for it like last Saturday when I was coming up there. Um, so the other thing maybe you know about is like up on the top of Idalia where you get to to Pat de Arco Highway. There's like an abandoned piece of land that's off to the right there, and they used to say that it was like a boys and girls home, not boys and boys and girls club. We used to be there, or else it was like Rio Rancho Middle School or something like that. But there's a little property over there with like a basketball court on it. You can really discern where there used to be like a school over there. But yeah, I don't know if you've seen that or not, but it's right there on Idalia, I think, where you. Um, it's hard for me to remember the streets just because I only moved back out here just like maybe a month ago or something like that. So anyway, that's kind of a neat thing to. I've got some video that I shot with my kids during COVID. Um, that's us kind of roaming around out there. I said, "Yep, I know what you're talking about. Yep, yeah, it's kind of a cool place." Um, when I lived up here, maybe like it was like next to 15 years ago. I'm gonna say like 13, 14 years ago. I used to go over there with a bucket and a magnet and a stick, and I'd have my kids go around picking up the screws that were over there on the ground. And yes, they were like self-tapping screws that Anyway, you know how dude stuff. I just pick up those screws and save them. I've got a handful of those that I use on stuff from time to time. But the other thing that I went and took some video of just a little while back was down there at the end of Southern. There was that radio tower. It was like an AT&T long lines tower. I don't know if you're familiar with that. That's kind of neat, and it's right there where I guess where you get there to the end of Southern, where it turns into a dirt road. Let's collaborate on some Urbex videos. I want to film in Tucumcari. There's an abandoned gas station and hotel. That sounds rad, man. Um, Best thing I could do is tell you I don't want to put my telephone number out here on the internet, but I could tell you my email address out loud. It's Chuck CHUCK and then underscore and then 76x at yahoo.com. So yeah, it's anyway. I hope that I don't know how these live videos play back, but I'll spit that back out here in a minute. Um, yeah, I was talking about that place. You've probably been out there if you've been in Rio Rancho for any amount of time. It's on the end of Southern, and there's like an AT&T long lines tower. Um, you used it for like a cell phone tower. That tower you're talking about on the dirt road. Oh, it's locked up. Yeah, yeah, I know it was locked up for a while, and then for a while you could go in there. Somebody was telling me that they've been in there, but after I finally figured out what it was, it kind of turns out that there's a lot of those around the country. It's just if you Google, not Google, but you do a YouTube search for AT&T long lines towers, you'll see a bunch of similar towers. Some of them are huge, even bigger than that one out there. They're way bigger. Specifically, there's one down in Texas that's pretty big like that. So, anyway, my email address, I don't know if you got a pen and paper handy, is Chuck, CHUCK, as in giraffe, um, Chuck G underscore 76x at yahoo.com. Yeah, and if you want to do some collaborations or something like that, we can plan it out. I'd certainly love to go do that. I've been wanting to go and do some, stuff like that for like a long time. Kind of been restricting myself. A lot of my videos have some things that are abandoned in Albuquerque, but I don't know. They're not really fascinating. Oh, got your mail. Awesome. Thank you, man. My name's Lucky, by the way. Um, yeah, some of my videos are not like that fascinating. Some of the abandoned places that I do in Albuquerque, they're just kind of fascinating to me or whatever. Robert, right on. I'm glad to meet you. Very cool. Very cool. Um, yeah, so just listening to my neighbors out there partying tonight. They probably hear me talking. I don't know if you can hear them in the background, but yeah, I did. I like to some of the equipment that I like to use. I have on top of my smartphone. I use some gimbals. I've got like a DJI um, mobile Osmo gimbal that's kind of neat for doing like time lapses and stuff like that. So some of my videos have some of that, and kind of went up there on the roof of my house today, which is pretty high up, and shot some video of 550. So I'm going to throw up some of those time lapses pretty soon. But yeah, I'm just kind of hoping that like it comes together in sort of a way that's aesthetically pleasing. We can go film at this abandoned hotel I filmed at in Belen. That's pretty nice. Oh, the owner, that helps a lot. I know. I'm always worried about. I don't want to go into jail because we're on private property or breaking into a place or something like that. One of the places that I've always wanted to film at is not too far away from here. Um, right up there on Algodones. When you get out there, there's that, how do you call it? Like power plant or whatever. One of these days, I wish that I knew somebody that had access to that place because the building just looks awesome. But the other thing is, it's kind of a filming location. They filmed Terminator movie out there back when I lived over here like 14 years ago. It was that Terminator Salvation. But anyway, yeah, I've always that kind of fascinates me to go film out there and some stuff that way. Um, where else? But yeah, definitely the Urbex locations. Isn't that place up and running? Yeah, it probably is. It's a power plant, but I don't know if I ever knew anybody that was like, how do you call it? That had access to like just walk around in there or something like that. I'm pretty sure yeah, it's probably not abandoned. It's probably not a good idea to go in there. It's like a act of terror or something. But yeah, it doesn't sound like a great idea. But yeah, you never know if you know somebody. Sometimes you know what I mean. You get somebody to let you walk around in there or something. But so yeah, generally speaking, I've been I wanted to jump on YouTube and make videos for a long time. So some of my early videos are just videos with my kids. Um, and then I tried to document for my kids some of the places that I went to school out in Albuquerque when I was a kid living in there. Um, yeah, so they're kind of generic, but I'm hoping to bring them up to sort of a cool level one of these days where they get a little bit more of attention or whatever. But I've been watching your short clips. Yeah, gosh, I just started figuring out that you can upload these clips. It's kind of interesting because, on your phone, when you go to upload some stuff, it gives you different options. I don't know if you've experienced that before, but like when you go to upload stuff from like your iPhone, then the options that it gives you are different than the ones that it gives you for your like iPad or the computer or whatever too. So I mean that's kind of neat. I mean that like before I didn't even know that I didn't realize that I could go live. So I mean I knew I could go live from like a PC, but my PC is never really set up. So I didn't realize that I could go live from my iPad. I probably would have done this a long time ago. So it's just what that goes to show sometimes what you don't know. But anywho, yeah, I'll have to check out more of your channel. I was trying like crazy to figure out what show I was just watching, or video I was just watching of yours today. Darn it. I know it was one that you just like uploaded lately, so. But anywho, I'm probably going to go over here and watch some movies with my daughter and jump off of here. But now that I know that I can do this, I'll probably jump back on here on the regular, you know. Um, Another thing I'd like to do is get out there. Like I got a small metal detector. It's nothing to write home about, but I thought about going out there and. Oh, my last one is the one I was interviewed by Channel 4. Okay. I don't think I saw that one then, doggone it. But that's pretty rad. I know I've got some videos that I gave to Channel 4 up in Albuquerque. They were like some serious car accidents that happened out in front of the apartment that I used to live out there. Um, Gosh, there'd be like a wreck there like every other month or something like that. Sometimes even closer than that. But one of the times, one of the accidents that was out there was real serious. It was like a van, or excuse me, a car went flying down the road on Chelwood where I lived, and it dipped up in the road, ran the stop sign, and hit the sidewalk, and flew up in the air. Well, excuse me, it went up into an apartment yard and hit a really large boulder, went over end, and flew into somebody's apartment complex. But this thing, it flew over three parked vans and a parked car, and it flung the guys that were in the car. It was just a really bad accident or whatever. But a lot of the stuff that I had videotaped some of it, and they asked me if they could have it, and I gave them. Yeah, it was pretty. It was. I'm telling you, it was like really bad accident. I'd never seen anything like that. The car was stuck into the side of the apartment, and that boulder was a huge boulder that it was like a car-sized boulder itself. It hit this yard boulder and knocked it down the street and into a manhole. Not into a manhole, but it knocked it onto a manhole, and the manhole flew off, and the car door flew into the next apartment complex over, and it was just a mess. But long story short, those two dudes died on there. There was two dudes in the car, and then there was how do you call it, a girl in the car, and the girl lived, but the two dudes died. That stuff that you see in the movies, yeah, it was really gnarly. I heard it at about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning when it happened, and it was a really ungodly sound. So, I ran outside in my underwear and to see what the matter was, and I didn't really see what was going on until, like the last minute. One of my neighbors, I could see they were over there, and I didn't know exactly what had happened. So I went back in, got dressed, came back out, and then shortly after, the police started showing up, and then I started realizing just exactly how bad what was going on was going on. So yeah, that was a mess. I'd never seen anything like that, but I don't know if I want to make those kind of videos where you're like chasing really bad scenes like that, because I feel bad if yeah, if the families ever come across videos like that sometimes, you know what I mean? But it's cool to capture them, that's for sure. But I did give some of those videos to the Channel 4, but some of the ones with the blood and stuff that was going on, I kind of omitted that out or whatever. But it was a pretty gory scene. But yeah, it's on Channel 4. I'm trying to figure out where that happened. I'll get that video to you if you send me your email. I'll show you some of the video of where that happened. Yeah, you are in public. Yeah, it is what it is. I guess I only feel bad just because like somebody kind of told me, "Why did you record that?" I'm like, I don't know. It's just something that that's what you do sometimes. If you're this is that day and age. Oh, very cool, very cool. Look forward to that emailing me. Um, I mean, just sometimes, gosh, I can't tell you how many times I have been at the scene of an accident, and I'm not like one of those like ambulance um, chasing kind of guys or whatever, but I mean, it just so happens that I've been at like the scene of hundreds of accidents, probably. Like I don't know what it is. Um, I've rarely filmed any of them. Yeah, they definitely do. I know you could probably sell that stuff to the how you call it, to the news stations too, but I don't know. That sounds like a hard business to be in, but I don't know. More than anything, I think I'd like to get around and do some of the like urbex kind of stuff, or maybe capture some of the unique stuff in New Mexico. You know, some of the culture and different stuff. I've got like a thing for like really old churches. Um, One of the videos that I uploaded just lately was, it took me like 2 years to upload it because I had it stuck on a memory card, you know. Up in Colorado, I filmed some churches up there, up in Trinidad and up in Denver. So I kind of like stuff like that, historic old buildings or whatever. Um, Movie locations are kind of something that I like to get into. I know they filmed some movies up there in Algodones once upon a time. How do you call it? What movie was out there? That movie about the, oh, Convoy. I don't know if you remember that movie from the '70s, Convoy. Some of that was filmed out there in Algodones and Bernalillo or whatever. And some of those, there's like closed down bars and stuff like that over there. Some pretty cool stuff to look at. I know one thing that I found out that you want to be careful of is some of the reservations around here do not want you to film or whatever. Um, so I try and be aware of that. You actually get in a lot of trouble filming on some of the reservations and stuff like that. So I don't know. I just try and be respectful and not, you know, go do it all, go do all that. But once upon a time, I was stopped for filming a gas station that was closed along the Camino. I don't know if you know about that Camino that runs outside of Bernalillo. And anyway, Sandia Reservation's right there. And then I was filming on one side of the road and they got upset with me. But actually, I wasn't filming yet. I hadn't started filming. They stopped me right when I was getting ready to film. So, but yeah, I don't know, just one of those things. But looks like I'm going on 23 minutes here. Anyway, sure appreciate you watching the video. Um, I didn't realize I could go live. You know, I'll probably start doing this every single night. I don't know how long it lets you go live for. Is it like a half an hour or something? Have you ever gone live before? Or let's see. Yep, I had personally invited to camp. Oh, far out. That sounds pretty cool. That would be cool to do like a Bigfoot video or something like that. Those, that would be rad. But so um, let's see. Oh, you can go live for hours. Okay, cool. That's pretty cool. I don't know if I'll be going live for hours tonight just because I promised my daughter I would go in there and watch a movie for her. That's pretty cool. No limit. Well, that helps. So when you, do you know if when you go to like, can you save your live videos or whatever? Can you save those to your YouTube channel when you're done? Um, or does it automatically save? Or I wonder how that works because that'd be kind of okay. That's kind of cool. Yeah, because I'd like to just jam some content on there. That way, it just I have like a plethora of content on there. For years, I had like 12 videos on there. I think I should automatically save and upload. Very cool. For years, I had like 20 videos on my YouTube channel before I started back in 2008 or something like that. And then I was getting into collecting guns, and I started making like a little series of cheap gun videos because that's pretty much all I could afford. But it's kind of funny, like a lot of the cheap guns that I had, people were getting on there and commenting about how they were like Saturday night specials or something like that, and I shouldn't even collect those kind of guns. But I don't know. Those are still the kind of guns that I like to collect, the cheap and easy ones. You know what I mean? But not that I'm a big gun collector or anything else like that. But I just kind of like collecting stuff for the the historical aspect of it or whatever. But like I had one up there about a Russian Mazda Nagant. Back here when I lived in Rio Rancho, there was a Rio Rancho gun store right there on Southern, and I think it was called Rio Rancho Arms or whatever. Um, And it was there for years. And the couple that owned that gun store, they supplied guns to like the movie industry and stuff like that. It was pretty neat. They had like guns that they were some of the guns that they had in there, they were kept around, were featured in different movies or whatever. One of them was like the big cannon on Predator or something like that. If I remember right, I don't know, something like that. But it was kind of neat. Um, yeah, I don't. Anyway, I bought it. I had bought and purchased a Russian Mosin Nagant over there. It was really tall gun. It was like a 38 Tula. It was a really nice gun, and it was in really, really nice condition. And it had this huge bayonet on it and everything else. And I bought that gun for like $80 or something like that. And if you try and get one of those guns like that now, they're like $400, $500 or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm stretching it out a bit, but they're probably $350 at least or something like that. But yeah, if I had some of those guns back that I used to have, yeah. But also down there on golf course, there was a gunsmith or whatever. There was a few things. When I lived here in Rio Rancho about 15 years ago, there seemed like there wasn't as it was still expanding or whatever. But I lived over there in an AMREP house off of Nicholas and let's see, Nicholas and well, Southern turns into Nicholas right there. There used to be a Diamond Shamrock, and you go up that road, and then there was a road called Harvard, and I lived right over there behind the. It was funny because the house that I lived in was like a two-bedroom house, and it was made out of like trailer board or something like that. But I remember the original value on those houses when you bought them was like $5,000 or something back in '85, I guess. I don't know. Somebody told me that you could buy one new in '85 for like 5 grand. And then when I moved out of that house, the value on those houses were like 125 grand or something like that. But just a little two-bedroom house. And it's funny because that house was really, really small and cheaply made. You could just tell. And then right just a stone's throw away, they were building like, $1 million houses right there. So we had all these like really rinky dink. Oh, so 5K now? Gosh, tell me where those houses are. I'll save up some money and buy one of those. Oh, you said 5K. Wow. I thought you said 5K now. Excuse me. I do got my glasses on, but I'm not seeing as well. I thought you said 5K now. I was like, yeah. No, back then in '85 when they were first built, some of those houses were like 5, 10K or something like that. But it just goes to show. But that was back in like the early '80s or something like that. Um, yeah, that's even a good price for back then. So I don't know. That's just what somebody told me over there, but who knows? I know they had a lot of problems with some of those houses or whatever. I think I had some problems with it too because I ended up owing like my water was leaking all the time. And I think it was cause maybe that polybutyl pipe problem that they had. And my water bills were like, God, I was getting water bills that were like $400 a month or something like that. And I think I still owed them like $1,000 at one point. But it was a mess. And then the city kept on coming out there and turning it off, and I kept going over there and turning it back on. So I didn't like that very much. But yeah, it does suck. But anyway, some of the other things I used to do out here in Rio Rancho, I used to do a little bit of volunteer stuff over here, um, just at different events and stuff like that. So like I had something to take my kids around when they were growing up. We used to volunteer at events at the Italian American Club that they used to have. And then I remember my kids were school age back then. My kids are grown up now; they're in their 20s. Um, but they used to have that Sunday Fun Day in Rio Rancho or something like that. That was always pretty cool. It was like the day before the kids back, or the week before the kids went back to school, and they would do all kinds of like a little inflatable, jumpy kind of stuff for the kids and games and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I raised my kids by myself, so during that time it was they were just little and stuff like that. It was kind of neat to go do all that kind of stuff. But I've got some videos. You'll see my kids on there. There's a neat video at Sally Boy's Pizza, when we lived here in Rio Rancho. We used to go eat at Sally Boys and stuff like that. And I was with my ex-wife a little while during that. She's in that video. It's kind of funny, but that Sally Boys pizza was my favorite pizza, man. It's not there anymore. I really liked that place. And then there was another Italian pizza place up the road. Um, I can't remember what it's called, but it was up there by Albertsons on Southern. Maybe it's still there. There's the pasta houses there. Then there was a pizza, a nice pizza place over there too. I don't know if you remember what that's called. But yeah, anyway, yeah, I'll look forward to maybe connecting with you and doing some like Urbex kind of videos and stuff like that. So, running out of stuff to talk about. I came up with a few things over here, though. I've got a motor mouth. So, see, I can't remember that pizza place. Yeah, I can't remember what it's called either. It was like an Italian name, of course. But that was the first place that I ever had a white sauce pizza where it had like Alfredo. I'd never had a pizza with Alfredo sauce on it before. And that was like it had white sauce and chicken or something on it. It was pretty good, but that was like a totally new thing for me. I can't remember what Frangelico's or something. No, that's the name of a liquor. I don't know what that what it's called. Uh, anyway, yeah. Alrighty, well, I think I'm gonna cut this one off. I guess over here, been on for like 30 minutes, but get in there and I'll probably start doing this more often, man. This seems like a pretty cool gig right here to go live and then just see who will jump on the channel or whatever. But all right, man. Well, nice talking to you. I'll look forward to that email from you, and then I'll connect with you or whatever. I'm just out here in Rio Rancho right now. Um, have a good night. Okay, very cool. Yeah, you too, brother. Appreciate you very much. Um, I was gonna say I'm not really working right now, so I'm kind of available sometimes to go do those things. But um, let's see. Yeah, I've got a couple of job interviews lined up, so see how my work schedule starts to shake out. But hopefully, if anything, I'm always trying to get Sundays off. So wherever I work, I'm gonna definitely have Sundays off. Maybe I'll be available. Yeah, weekends are the best for me too. Very cool. Yeah, that's where I'm. What I'm saying, probably be better to do something on a weekend, especially to go out to Tucumcari. That's so 66 runs through Tucumcari, right? Isn't there a lot of Route 66 kind of locations out there too? Like diners and stuff like that, I wonder. Maybe that'd be something to hit. Yep, that's what I thought. It's right there on 66. Another one that's on the way out that way. Yeah, ghost towns. You know where what do you call it? Corona is Corona, New Mexico. Yeah, it looks like a pretty cool place to go film out there too. It's like there's a bunch of abandoned stuff out there, and oh yeah, I think there's a church or something like that out there too. Which I don't know. That's for me. Like if there's an abandoned church there, I'm there. You know what I mean? I want to go check that out for sure, or whatever. Even if it's just ruins or whatever. So another abandoned church that looks really cool is down south. Gosh, let me think about it for a second. There's this really neat abandoned church down south, and the cool thing about it is the guy is from upstate New York that built the church, and it's built on an old schoolhouse, like an old 1800 schoolhouse, and it's Cuervo. I think Cuervo, New Mexico. No, I'm thinking of two different things now. Anyway, this church was built. This guy from upstate New York came out there and built it, and he is buried right there where the church is, and the church is like totally abandoned. You know what I mean at this point. But a lot of people go out there, and you can kind of go in there and check it out and everything else too. But it seems like the townsfolk are pretty filmed at Cuervo. Okay, very cool. Yeah, Cuervo is a pretty cool place. Cool. Well, I'll connect with you again, brother. Um, let's see. Yeah, I think that is the name of it. It's Cuervo. I have seen your video on Cuervo too. That's pretty cool. Yep. And around that same time that you filmed at Cuervo, I think that you filmed at like that place down the road or something right there too. There's like a really nice in the Manzanos. No, that's something else I'm thinking of. I think around that same time, I remember you uploading a place down the road or whatever. Um, is it called Newkirk? Oh, okay, Newkirk. Exactly. That's what I remember because there's two places over there. So yeah, they're not too far apart or something like that. Are they pretty close together? Or they're just like right up the road or something from each other? Oh, okay, 5 minutes apart. I had always wondered. So my dad and I were going to go out there and film at Cuervo at one point in time, but then he kind of canceled on me or whatever. But he's got some cool play toys for filming and stuff like that. He has like a, how do you call it? Like a, um, you go up in the air, a drone or whatever. Yeah. So he's got like one of those drones that goes up in the air and everything else. Maybe I could get him to tag along or something like that so he can fly. He's got like a license to fly his drone or whatever too, which is kind of neat. So maybe he'll kind of tag along and um, yeah, it's a pretty neat one too. I know I like doing that. I like for me, what's kind of fun is this whole thing. I like to, how do you call it, like find different ways to do stuff on the cheap or whatever. You know what I mean? If I can find some kind of cheap ways to do photography and do it on the cheap, that's always kind of fun too. You know what I mean? Like I heard, for instance, if you don't have a drone, you can take your camera and run it up on a big stick and it looks like a drone or whatever, flying away. You get somebody to film it with a big stick going ahead of you. Anyway, yeah, just like cheap little cool stuff like that. That's what I'd like to kind of master that or whatever. But get some of those cool photography tricks going or whatever. But very cool, Robert. Thank you, man. I'll look forward to talking to you or talk to you on Facebook or something like that too. I hope you have a great night, brother. Take care.